Hey, we're there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. How's everyone else's Sunday going? It's really nice outside. It's a really nice day. So how's everyone going? I've been doing a lot of things. As you can see, I've got the alien leg. The whole leg is built now, and the rib cage as well. We'll come on to that in just a minute. Let's have a say hi. Hi, Mark. How's it going? And Carl as well. How's it all going? It's been pretty good this week. So I'm still waiting for my Robocop issues. They will, when they come, they'll come. I'm not, I know if there's a problem, they tend to sort out stuff. So I'm not too bothered about that. It's interesting because I ordered them at the same time. The Aliens ones turned up, which allowed me to complete the leg, which we'll have a closer look at in a minute. We've also got the rib cage as well, and I'll come on to that as well in a minute. They turn up. Just in regards to that, I've already recorded all the episodes. Obviously, they're going to be uploaded over the next couple of days. Patrons will get them obviously straight away, and then they'll be released on YouTube, going every week, sort of thing, like I do normally. Now, when the Robocop turns up, the same will happen with that. I'll record them all at once, upload them to Patreon, and then you'll get one episode a week on YouTube. So, hi Neil, how's it going? That's what I've been doing this week. I also got some stuff from Eaglemoss as well, and I've been told I may be getting some stuff from Eaglemoss this week coming. So so that's all coming. All good, thanks. Just been reading about World of Range troubles with the Spitfire. I'm really gutted for him. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. What's happened with the Spitfire? I've been so busy this week doing stuff. I haven't caught up with a lot of videos this week. I've been watching Mark's builds and Alex builds, but I haven't caught up on World of Wayne's stuff yet. I normally do that on a Sunday afternoon type thing, but I've been quite busy this morning doing various things. It's a nice day, so I've been outside. I don't know what happened there. What happened with Wayne's Spitfire? And I know there's been problems with sort of the strip down and sort of, well, it's not a sort of strip down. It's a sort of partial strip down and changing the PCB and all that sort of stuff. I think it is, isn't it? Something that happened at issue 30, and then they're asking you to change it. Now you're on issue like 100 or something ridiculous. I haven't. It's gone bad. Too many things now have failed electronically. If you've done Partworks, you'll know the Partworks electrics they're cheap. They're cheap for a reason. Like I said, my DeLorean. Some of the interiors lights work, but the strip around the outside and the headlights don't work on my DeLorean. And obviously, I've explained on many streams the problems I had with the Routemaster, with the electrics on that. My electrics on the Millennium Falcon worked when I finished the build, and at present time, the landing lights don't work, and one side of the engine. So the engine on the Millennium Falcon is 2 LED strips, and one side isn't working. It's only one side that works. The interior works. Electric, take the Terminator, for instance. The lights run the batteries right down really quickly within 24 hours. Same with the headlights, the lights in the head as well. It's just a real Partwork electrics are really bad and notorious. One of the running jokes with the Partwork is, how long do you reckon the electrics will last? This is another reason why a lot of people change them as well. Hi, Crafty Chris. How's everything going? And Jay, how's my old friend? How's it going? Hope it's all going well for you. Just the sheer peak price of it, really. It's a bit of a pill to swallow. It is. You'll see when the big reveal of the leg. I've done it now. Obviously, we're building the thigh and stuff like that. But issue 43, which is the big reveal of everything built, you will see, and I'll show on the stream tonight. So getting on to that, actually, this is the rib cage. We had a look. So a lot of people said that's very small. So there's the rib cage, and there's his leg. But we'll come on to the leg in just a minute. A lot of people have said that the rib cage is rather small. So the rib cage for the alien is on the outside of the alien. Me, my wife, and me have both looked. Me and Kirsty have both looked on. Oh yeah, okay. Cheers, Mark. Yeah, I will do. Straight after this stream, I'll do that. No trouble, mate. Thank you. But yeah, so a lot of people have asked, and I've sort of my chair is slowly going down. I don't know why. So am I slightly moving down? It's because of my chair. I don't know why. It's starting. It was all right, this chair, and now it's starting to lose the pressure inside it. I don't know why. But anyway, so a lot of people said the rib cage looks rather small, and me and Kirst, we had a look online at loads of different aliens. The thing is, as well, we're in the alien from the first movie, which is a drone alien. A lot of people said it's not like the alien from Aliens. The one in Aliens is a warrior one, so it's got more. It looks more armored, and it's got a different dome as well. But anyway, the actual chest of the alien is very small. It's actually quite slender. So it's sort of, you got quite big hips, and it sort of goes in really, really small, and then goes back up again. So actually, even though it looks very small, it's actually it looks fine. It also goes like this, so the top bits at the top of the head sort of thing. But yeah, quite happy with that. I'll get back to chat in just a second. And here we have the leg. So leg is, just to give it on scale, once again on the on my video, the issue 43, sorry, I do a preview of this leg next to the Terminator. I can tell you now that this, the top bit of the leg up here, reaches the shoulder of the Terminator. That's how big this leg is. So this thing is not going to be small by the slightest. Not going to be small by the slightest. But you'll see the trouble I had with this. Now, when this does get released here in the UK, obviously I'll be on issue 60, 70, maybe even in the 80s. So I'll be nearly finished. But you guys are going to hate this rubber. I have hated this rubber since I built this leg. I mean, it's all right, but since I did this, I have a love-hate relationship. I love the build, but why did they go with this stupid rubber? I don't know. The foot is okay. It's very white though on the nails. I think a little bit of nun oil on there will do that a treat. Articulation, it ain't got any. The foot doesn't move. The knee does, very slightly, and it's a really smooth movement. But once again, there's no real movement in that. And obviously the leg thing here as well, it does move, but at a push, there's not a lot of movement in this at all. So just like with my Terminator, I'm going to be able to pose this in one pose, and then I'm going to leave it. But all will be explained in the video as I go on building this, and you'll understand what the love-hate relationship is with this, why I sort of love the build but also hate it. And yeah, let's just say I'll be positioning the leg this way and not the back. Obviously you can't see much on the back, but when the videos come out you will see why I think a lot of people are going to end up not liking this build. And Rain on issue 40 as well. I'm going to stick my leg up there actually, because it's quite good. It's quite, like I said, it's huge. It's quite big, and there's the rib cage next to it, so you can see how big It does look really small, doesn't it, the rib cage? But that's it's a 32-inch TV, so you can sort of see how big that leg is. But like I said, it goes, when it's straight, it's as tall as the Terminator up to his shoulder, so it's quite tall. So this is going to be a lot bigger, and I mean a lot bigger than your Terminator is. Let's go back to chat. Poop, I had a few problems with Heartworks. Warped paneling, wonky wall, suspension hell on the Citroen. Oh no. Yeah, I tell you what, I nearly lost it with this. That was attaching this, and because you have to sort of stitch it together and glue an arm, especially the knee was a major problem. I had a real nuff of that, and I'm glad that it's finished. But the problem I have is I know we've got to do it again. So that's my problem with that, is that we've got to do it all over again. Too many Easter eggs, Kev. That's why the chest. Yeah, probably. Hope the alien isn't legless. Should be. I'll tell you, it might be afterwards. I really distressed it that. Hiya, how's it all going? Yeah, it's fine here. But yeah, like I said, I'm a bit. I love it. I think when it's built, it's going to be one of those things, a bit like Terminator, even though it's not functional as I would say, it still looks good as a piece, and I think this is going to be a good one as well, despite some of the problems. I'm hoping that the next leg doesn't take as long, and because I've done it once, I'm going to find it easier doing the next one. That's my theory, but whether or not that's the case. But yes, you will see as I go along through the issues, because you don't start stitching it together until around issue 40. That is when the meltdown starts for the leg. It's onwards from there. It's like I said, it's all right now. It's all done. It looks cool. You wait until you see the video. I'll pause the camera. Had a meltdown low as 2 screw holes weren't screwed and printed in every screw hole. Yeah. There's a few, like I said, there's a few problems with this. I created some of the problems myself. So one of the issues was that you have to, obviously it's got magnets. Now those magnets are rubbish, basically. They don't really work. And you have to sort of glue it together anyway. So the magnets mean nothing. I don't even know why they ask you to do them. But anyway, I glued this bottom leg section in many issues ago, around issue 30. And then it tells you to take it off because you need to put the knee joint in. So I didn't do that because I'd already glued it, so I wasn't going to take it apart. So the way I did it, because you have to screw the rubber, this knee rubber in, it has to be screwed in at both sides, 4 screws, and they're the screws with the washers on. And the problem is if you overscrew them, they just slip through the hole. So they just need to sort of hold it there, if you know what I mean. They were a pain to do. And then obviously you have to stitch it. So normally in the book you would stitch it, then you pass it up the leg to put it on. I thought that was a bit of a nightmare, though I already glued that. I weren't going to undo it. So the way I did it was a little bit, I put it round the knee, then closed it, glued it. But I have talked to people who are building it, and they've had the exact same problem, even though they've followed the instructions where they took the lower bit off and then re-glued it. They still had the same problem with the knee, and you'll see that in the video. One thing I will say is that is the foot. Oh, the one thing I will say actually is I think Hachette are in cahoots with the glue companies, because the amount of glue I used for this is ridiculous. So I went through 1.5 of them to glue this. That was just to complete the thigh and to get it all glued up together. 1.5 of them I used. I've never used, on any part work I've ever done, I have never used that much glue, ever, on any part work. It's a nice effect. The rubber is a really nice effect. But I'm like, why have they done that? I don't really know why they did that. Why? Hi Burgers, how's it all going? Oh yeah, new apartment, how's that all going? Moving went fine, just need to set up the cave and go through all the trash I'm leaving behind. Yep. Alien Build sponsored by, yeah, I'll tell you what, Jay, it really is. I couldn't, like, there's no other way of doing it without using that, because you have to glue all the pipes in, the die cast sections which are here, and then you have to glue the sections together. So the fire's in two sections, just like the bottom here. So you have to sort of glue that. Then you have to glue inside to make sure it doesn't slip. You have to glue this as well, the foot. Yeah. Like I said, I've never done a part work with so much glue. There's just so much glue involved. And not enough screwing as well. You'll see that in the video as well. There's it's in some parts of it. You've seen it already. If you've watched my videos, you've seen it already that I've just used glue. I don't use any screwdrivers or any screws. It's just glue. And yeah, there's a lot of that on there. But it looks good. The end result does look good, I've got to say. But it was a bit of a nightmare. I'm wondering whether we use it on the torso. It looks like it. We've gone through. We went and watched the trailer over and over and over and over again to see what it is. This, like I said, this is the rib cage. That looks fine. But it does look like there's a lot of rubber on the body as well. Yeah, and then you've got the tail as well. And then the stand to come. So there's still quite a lot to do. I think over in France they're on issue 56, 56 or 57. I will be thereabouts the next time I do another load. So I will be like halfway through by then. But they're coming up against the same problems I have or I've had with that. So yeah. Hachette loves glue. Fire truck is the same. I've never done a part work. I've done part works for years, and I've obviously used glue for certain pieces, but never as much glue as I've used for that. That is, yeah, overload is an understatement. Like near enough 90% of that leg is glued on or used with glue. You even don't even screw in the die cast rigid pieces on the backs and fronts. They're not even screwed in. They're glued in, like the leg and everything else. But yeah, oh my god, blame me for the alien build. Oh no, I'll tell you what, I'm happy, really happy. It's a bit like a love. I get like this with all part works, love-hate relationship. So let's go through them. The Terminator, I love, absolutely love that build. But some of it I could have torn my eyeballs off because there was just some parts of it that was just the fingers for one thing. I remember before they came out with the finger fix, that was annoying as well. Some bits were really easy on it. Other bits were just overcomplicated. Then you had the Route Master. Don't worry. I absolutely love the Route Master. It's on proud display up in the bedroom. But those panels with the little red screws, oh, I'll tell you what, you feel it. Like even after doing a few of them, when you got some of the bigger panels, and you've got like 30 screws to put in and they're little red ones, individual, you feel it. And yeah, and then you've got to think, oh, I've got another panel to do this next time with the same amount of screws. There was that one, so I love-hate relationship with that one. The DeLorean, where do I start with a DeLorean? The wheels, the door hinges, the engine. Yeah, there was them. Then there was R2-D2. So there was problems with getting the wheels on. It's two arms basically, and some of the panels as well were a nightmare. Getting all the components as well in the head, that was also a nightmare. So I absolutely love the Alien, but we've gotten to the point where I'm glad that I've done that. But let's move on. It's good because we are now. So the leg is done. That is complete. That is going to be stored away now until I need it near the end of the build. The next couple of issues, I do believe. So that's the the right leg. Then issues 44 upwards is the right hand and the left hand. I think on issue 56 or 57 they're doing the left hand. So it looks like we're going right leg, right arm, left leg. I'm guessing that's what we're doing. We still haven't finished off the alien head. We've got about 90% of that done. I know there's lights to come that go in it, and the dome obviously as well. And then you've obviously got the tail, the chest. I don't know how the chest is actually built yet. I don't even know. I couldn't even fathom what would be involved with that. I wouldn't even be able to guess that. But yeah, I love it, and I'm glad that I'm building it. I'm glad, Jay. I'm glad you put me in the right direction to do it, because I probably wouldn't have done it if you hadn't suggested it. But I'm 100% behind this build, and I will do it and finish it, and I will love it at the end of it. With now, because it's so big, because I thought, oh, you know, it will sit near the Terminator. But because how big it is now, we've now realised how big it is. We're now contemplating on where it's going to go, because I don't think it's going to go next to the Terminator now. It's got to go somewhere else. So we're contemplating on where it's going to sit and where it's going to go. So there's that. The Robocop build, the issues that I've ordered, sort of half completes the rest of the leg. So at this stage, we've completed obviously the alien leg, but at the stage that I've got up to on the Robocop, which I think is issue 23, 24, it's near enough completed the leg. You don't get a lot of parts in that. It's a bit like the Iron Man build. There's not a lot of parts in each issue. Like one of the parts was really big. It's half of the calf leg, and you sort of get it, and you're like, wow, you know, it's a really big bit, but it is literally just that bit. And the issue before that was the mechanism that holds the foot to the leg. So it was like a ball joint, and it was like 3 pieces. So any news on part works due out soon? No. I know this part work's coming. I know there's a load of good ones coming. I can't say what they are because I haven't been told. All I know is that some coming out. I know in France they've obviously just done the Infinity Gauntlet. I know the next Star Wars one to come out is the Death Star. Not the Death Star, sorry. The Star Destroyer. Let me get that straight. Yeah, it's the Star Destroyer. That's the next Star Wars one to come out. Over here is, you know, the Hogwarts Express was always told that we were going to get it. I know some people have said they've messaged Hachette and they've turned around and go, no, it's not coming out. Other people have messaged them and said, yeah, it's definitely coming. Some people have said it's a very mixed bag. It depends on who you get when you message them. I'm on the understanding that it's still coming out. But I don't know what's happened with the Hogwarts Castle build. Now, on the national database that we've got, that I'm on for the newsagents, and I'll come on to the newsagents just a minute if you're in the UK as well. But it says it's on issue 3. Issue 3's out this week. I still haven't seen it in any shop. I've seen no YouTube videos with it. I've seen nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that. But in terms of what's coming out this year, we know the Batmobile's coming out, but we don't know the date of that. The date of that is still up in the air, but it's definitely coming out this year. There's also another 2 part works coming out from Eaglemoss. So I don't know what they are. I know one of them is something and one of them's something else, but I can't say anything. But there is another 2 part works coming out from Eaglemoss. And then yeah, so that's, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing coming out in the foreseeable. Like I said, though, we're in May and the Batmobile was supposed to come out, but obviously with global problems at the moment, it's been pushed back for some reason. We will know when it comes out, and I'll let everyone know on the Nexus channel. But apart from that, I don't really know anything else that's coming out. But you know what these companies are like, they'll just turn one up. I know they're still they're still testing builds in France. They like their old tests they do over there. But yeah, put by your front doors, scare the crap out of visitors. We were thinking of that. We've got a little sort of alcove in our little hallway, and I was thinking he could sit up there. But we can't have her upstairs because I think my youngest would get scared. So we've got to judge where we put it, but it will go. We'll find a place for it. Of course we will. It's going to be cool. Does the alien fit above TV? No. It's if no no no. I'm still going to do the Enterprise build. That is going to go above the TV. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If at the moment though, even though it's a love-hate relationship, and I love the Alien, if someone said you had to pick one between this or RoboCop, I'd have to say RoboCop. Just just because it's one of those part works where it's you sort of know. So obviously the material that they're using on the Alien build is different. They've never used this material ever. There's a reason. with the RoboCop, it's mainly die cast, and you're screwing stuff in every week. With this, it's glue. So yeah, I don't think you could buy enough glue to finish the whole build. It's going to be interesting when the build's finished and to see it, but also go, that cost me X amount in glue as well. Yeah, and they don't supply the glue. Obviously, you have to. So, because normally when they do builds and it requires glue or something, like they supply it in very small amounts. The Disney Dollhouse build come with glue. It's a very small amount and not very good, but they still supplied it. With this, they never supplied any of that. So, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I've recorded all them. They should be up on Monday or Tuesday for Patreons. I still think there's issue 36 of the Alien build. That'll be on Tuesday. Monday's video will be the Cerritos from Star Trek Lower Decks. I got that this week. It's awesome, this model. I've done a review on it, and that's coming out tomorrow. So that means the RoboCop issue, I think it's issue 18, will be on Thursday, because Wednesday is our Disney Dollhouse build. Also, I haven't forgotten, I've got issue 30 of the Dodge Charger here, so I am collecting them every week, but it's becoming near impossible to get issues 20 and 21. I have put in a request, obviously back order, but they can take up to 8 or 9 weeks. It's been past that already. So I just have to hold on. Maybe someone in one of the groups is selling their build and I can buy those issues. Maybe that's what I have to do. It's getting a bit on now, but I am going to be building it. I've got all the parts here. Once I've got those 2 parts, then they're going to be put on the channel. Now, I want to get on to part works in newsagents, because if you haven't known, anyone who collects their part works from newsagents, so McCoy's or Martin's or Corals, is it? McCoy's, the newsagents, well, that's gone into administration. Now they're looking for buyers, and Morrison's was going to buy them, but it looks like Asda's buying them now. Now, if either of them bought it, they don't want newsagents. What they want is the locations. So the newsagent part of it probably won't exist anymore. So if you get your part works from McCaw's or Martin's, my advice would be to go to WH Smith's or to another newsagents to get them, and to try and do it as soon as. Though it's in administration, it hasn't closed yet. But obviously it's on the brink of all closing. But like I said, if Asda does come in, they don't want the newsagents part. What they want is, like I said, the locations. So they'll probably strip them out and then refit them so they're like, you know, the Asda locals or co-ops and stuff like that. So the way, because I've never got any magazines from the Co-op or as the local, or was it actually or Tesco Metro or anything like that, because they don't do things like this. So if you do collect your magazines from Martin's or McCoy's, I would change them straight away. They've gone into administration already. I did post a link on this on the my Facebook page a long time ago, saying that they were in trouble and going to collapse. Well, that happened. I think it was Thursday they collapsed. So yes, they've gone into administration. So yeah. Kev, there is issue 21 on eBay, 15 quid. I have watched it, but I don't want to pay double for. I don't want to pay double for the issue. So Kirsty said, "Wait, my newsagent's guy is spot on." It's worth noting that my brother orders the Warhammer from them, from the same guy, and he was missing issue 5. He's on issue 32 now, and the back order came in this week, issue 5. And normally with my back issues, if I've had any problems with the back issues from him, he does normally get them in. He's really good. But it relies on supply from the supplier, so WH Smith News, and they get supplied from warehouses from Fanhome. And then obviously they have allocations. So if my newsagent's 201, and a newsagent saying newsagent's 10 and they wanted it, they would get priority over mine, if you know what I mean. So it's just a waiting game. So I don't want to wait too much longer, but I don't want to spend £15 and then buy the issue and then the issue turn up next week for a tenner, because I'll have to say to him, look, you have to return that. I've already bought it. I spent £5 more than I should. So I'm going to hang on. But if it comes to squeaky bum time, then I might have to resort to that. But I've seen a lot of people posting, they're sort of giving up their builds and their and stuff like that. So I might, if that happens, I might be able to get issues, 20 and 21 from someone like that. We don't know, but like I said, I don't want to pull the trigger just yet. I know I'm on issue 30, so that was 10 issues ago, 10 weeks. But I don't want to put it, if you know what I mean, and then having to. I've seen it on there. I think it was Jay who pointed it out, and I keep an eye on eBay anyway to have a look. But thanks for that, Mark. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to pull the trigger too soon. And if I do get issue 21, I still need issue 20. So it's fine getting issue 21 because I know I'll have it, but then it's still trying to get issue 20. I've contacted Fanhome, and obviously, because I'm not a subscriber, they won't do it. But, years ago, when they actually brought out I'll say years ago, about 31 weeks ago now, when they first brought out the Dodge Charger, there were plans to bring out it in the newsagents and then do a web shop similar to Hachette, so you could buy the issues that you needed individually. Now, I've asked them this question. They said that is still on the board, that's still on to be done. But I'm wondering whether they're waiting until a build is finished before they then put all the issues out, if you know what I mean. I've even looked on the French site to see, because obviously I get my Alien from France, so it would be easier to then package it with all that lot, and it's not even on their website. So because that was my first fault when it didn't come in, I was like, I might just order them from France and pay like £3 or £4 extra, because that's all it equals to. But they haven't got it on there. They've got all the Iron Man issues. I think they've got every Iron Man issue on their site up to issue 96, 98. Around about the 90s. So if you're missing an issue, that's where you want to go. There is no way with Fan Home. I'm $17.99 for the Star Wars vehicles and ships. Yeah, I saw that. A lot of people were saying to me, "Are you getting them?" And I said, "No. I'm a Trekkie, so I'm a massive Star Trek fan, as everyone knows. Over Star Wars, I'd pick it any day. Star Wars is secondary to Star Trek for me, but I wouldn't collect the ships. Someone asked me before, are they bringing them out? And actually, that was a couple of weeks ago, and now they are. And I know that they were coming out. I just didn't know when. Yeah, I don't know. Do you get one model? They're quite big. They're the die-cast models, so they're exactly like the Eaglemoss ships. $17.99. Is that just for one, or is that two? That should be just for one, because that is on par with what you would pay for the original Star Trek line. So, I mean, originally it was £10, but by the time it finished, which was issue 180, it was, I think they were $16.99 an issue. They are now, if you go online now, they are $19.99 an issue. So they're nearly £20 for the smaller ones that used to cost £10, because of everything obviously has gone up. So, but with the Star Wars ships, they look a decent size, but it's a bit like their helmet collection, a bit like the Star Trek one. They say 70 planned, but you could already write that off straight away, because there's so many different vehicles. And then you've got just like with the Star Trek one, you've then got different variants. So you've got the same class of ship, but slightly different. The same with the AT-AT and stuff like that. And will they then cover? Obviously, they've then got to cover all the series. I know one of the ships is coming out is the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian ship. And then you've got all the other new series coming out and all the new films. And because the series is still going, they're going to still bring them out. It's exactly the same with the Star Trek ships. Eaglemoss is still bringing out ships for Star Trek because the series is still going on. It's the same with the Doctor Who figurines. So they started the Doctor Who figurines the same time as the Star Trek ships. And the figurines, well, the Star Trek ships are still going, but the figurines set, I think they're on issue, I think they said they're going to do 250 issues. And I think they're on 211 or 212 at the minute on the Doctor Who ones. Once again, the series is still going. So a lot of the newer characters are now being added. And every time a new episode comes out, a new character gets added. And they could effectively just continue it on and on and on and on. I know the helmet collection, they did about 100, didn't they, of them? I think there were 70 planned and they did about 100. Once again, you know, the Stormtrooper helmet, I think they did a couple of different variants of that as well. So when you look at stuff like that, it's sort of endless. I mean, I'm going to be starting in July. The new Star Trek Playmates stuff comes out. So all the new toys for Star Trek, and I'm going to be collecting them and reviewing them on the channel. But once again, it's going to be endless because the series is still going on. And then when you look at stuff, you go, okay, so you've got the main crew. So let's pick, say, Captain Picard, for instance, right? So you've got Picard. They could do him so many different ways. You've got the First Contact. You've got Generations. You've got the first 2 seasons uniform, different from the 3rd season. And then you've got him. You could have him as a Romulan because he was a Romulan in one of them. Then you've got Picard, and he had a different couple of outfits in that. Then you've got the Mirror Universe version or the Yesterday Enterprise version. So that's another variant. So once again, we're like up to about 8 different versions of one character, and no doubt they'll bring them out. And it's the same with the Star Wars things. Like I said, $17.99. Yeah. It's I think that's on par, but it's expensive. The problem, like I said, once again, they're going to fight this problem as well. They've done the Star Wars busts as well, and the Naruto figures. If they had a website where you could buy the individual issues, I think that would work for them, because you might not want every vehicle from the collection, right? So you'd probably want the Millennium Falcon. I know that's issue 1, and then you'd want the Razor Crest, which I think is issue 6 or 7. And you'd want them to, wouldn't you? You might not want any of the other ones like the X-Wings and different TIE fighters and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got the landing craft from the landing craft from Clone Wars and stuff like that. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just endless. Like when you start thinking about stuff, you're like, oh wow, look, you know, they could do this character, this, and then it just goes on and on. You got to think of all, especially with the Star Trek stuff. You got to think of all the cameo that they had of different actors coming in and portraying either a different alien or something like that. It's mind-boggling the amount of stuff. It's good for them because it means that they've got a solid base, so they'll never run out of stuff. But then it's us who's got to get it all, isn't it, really? And find spaces for it. I've got to find some spaces for it when it comes. But in terms of that, I think that price is on par with if you look at the Star Trek stuff, for instance. It's near enough on that same price. It's probably cheaper to do the Star Wars one than the Star Trek stuff, to be fair. Yeah, it's one of those ones where they say 70 planned, 200 later, you're still collecting them. That was the problem with the Star Trek one. I remember when they extended it and they just kept extending it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, really?" But you're so far invested that you just have to. But the good thing about Eaglemoss is that they put them on their website, so you can buy individual issues. So you can have time. So if you say, well, I want to do this subscription, but I don't want to pay that out each month. So you can still collect the individual issues, but spread it better, if you know what I mean. And I think that's where Fan Home should be doing. They should be putting all their stuff on a website so you can buy individual issues as and when you want. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. But I still think they're quite in their infancy, aren't they? They're still sort of they're quite young still, is the word I'm trying to say. So I don't know what's happening in terms of who was it? Hang on. Yeah, Neil, you said in the new Partwork stuff. I don't know what there's two that came out that we have heard that came out. I think it was the end of 2020 or 2021. It wasn't last year. It was the year before, I think. And that was the Starsky and Hutch car and the King Tiger tank. So they must be coming out this year, probably towards the end of the year. But yeah, like I said, normally the turnaround for Partworks is average is 18 months. That's normally the turnaround. Obviously, it can be shorter than that, but the normal turnaround for Partworks is 18 months. It can be longer. The Routemaster, I think, was 21 or 22 months from being tested to being released. But the Spitfire was 6 months from being tested to release. But like I said, the normal turnaround is normally about 18 months between it coming out and that coming out over here. The Infinity Gauntlet. Now, originally, a lot of people were like, it's November, because a lot of people signed up to it in France, and then they got an email saying they'll receive their first issue will be sent out to them on the 1st of November. That apparently was a fault with Hachette, not Hachette, sorry, a fault with D'Agostini, right? And the date was mixed up. So we don't know until they start turning up. We don't know. We think it's going to be the 1st of June it gets released in France, but some people still think it may be November. Though I've never known a pre-order to be that long, so I've got a funny feeling it's going to be June. It comes out, and then it will be on the site to buy individual issues like I do with my Alien. I won't be getting it just because I'm a bit maxed out on Partworks now, and if I did get it, which I probably won't, because I would probably go for the Hot Toys version. It's just better. But if I did go for it, I'd wait for it to come to the UK. But a lot of people were saying that with sort of with the Iron Man now finishing up with Fan Home, what is next? well, the next one to come out is RoboCop. That's the next part work to come out from Fanhome, I think. I would imagine that'd be near the end of the year now. Normal time scale for stuff to be released in from France to being released over here in the UK seems to be about 12 or 13 months. Normally when they're on issue 60, 70 is when they normally get released. Like the Iron Man is all finished now in even with the bonus issues, it's finished in France and Italy. But over here, I think they're on issue 100, is it? So there's still so much to go still. The Alien still isn't over here yet. Obviously, we've had the test run. But over in France, like I said, they're on issue 56. And normally, like I said, there's normally a 12 to 18 month window between it coming out. So the Alien probably won't come out until next year, at which point I will be, well, when does it finish? If I get all the issues up to date now, it finishes, I think it's in January or February. The Alien finishes, I do believe. Because obviously it's 100 issues, and obviously there isn't 100 weeks in 2 years. So it's a year and a bit. So I do believe before we get to March, which is when issue 52 come out, the end of March it was, I believe, that's when that's going to finish. So it's going to be like February time, January, February it finishes next year. I'm hoping then to get right up to it, so I finish it around the same sort of time as well. Obviously, with it issues coming out in France and then it being released on the site and then me getting it, it's going to be a couple of weeks in between. But yeah, and that means that I'll be nearly finished it by the time it gets released here in the UK. So that's quite good for you guys, because it means that if you're building it, you can follow my videos, and secondly, you can actually see the end result as well, so you can judge as well, because I know a few people weren't too sort of excited for it, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know in terms of part work, so I don't know how they're going to go forward. I know that we're going to be hitting this point soon where bills are going to be astronomical, and they're talking of a recession now as well, and that just hurts everything, doesn't it? You know, last time I remember when there was the last recession, it hurt Partworks as well, because when you've got less disposable income, the first thing you cull is hobbies and going nights out and stuff like that. So, but I mean, the builds that I'm building, I'm invested in, so I will be definitely building them. But yeah, there's that as well. Also, as well, if you're collecting the Disney Dollhouse, you'll know that they're going to be doing a summer winter sort of expansion. They're going to be doing like a summer winter expansion, and it's an extra 80 issues. So the Disney Dollhouse has now been extended to issues 200. It's only 120 issues. So it's like an extra year and a bit to get these bits. It's mind-boggling. I've never known anything to have that big of an extension. But if you're worrying, if you want to find out, if you click on Nexus on Facebook and then go along to groups, you can see all my groups there, and the Disney Dollhouse groups there, so you can always check it out. I won't. Me and Kirsty have already decided we won't be doing the extension. There's just no need. So yeah, we're gonna Christmas it up ourselves. We're gonna actually sort of do wiring and making Christmas decorations for it and stuff like that, instead of spending an extra 80 issues, which at £10 an issue, yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it works out more. I think you could do it. I think you could actually Christmas it up for about a tenner, instead of spending that much on the extra issues, really. I think the extra issues for Iron Man are also due soon as well, aren't they? The extension on that. When I do my Iron Man, because I've got it, when I finish it, yeah, when I finish the Iron Man, I'm not doing the extension. But yeah, I want to do that as well. See, that's another thing. Fanhome said that they are going to bring that out in the newsagents. We'll see how it went. We'll see how it goes with that. Well, I'm surprised it hasn't already. Maybe with the Dodge Charger, it was a little bit too much for them. Maybe it'll be sad, sod, and get the extension. Well, it's definitely coming. I know it's not totally finished in Japan yet, but they've already obviously announced the extension, and you can pre-order all the issues right now on Hobby Link Japan. But yeah, I won't be doing the extension on the Iron Man. No, there's no need to battle damage it, and it's only certain parts. And like I said, it's an extra. Is it an extra 20 or 30 issues? Nah. And they look. If you go and have a look on YouTube in people in France and Italy that have done it, it doesn't look very good anyway. So I'll be keeping him clean, as it was. But yeah, it's another one I need to sort of try and get sorted. Like I said, I want to just do the ones that I'm doing. I want to concentrate really on the Alien and RoboCop, because I feel that they are going to be sort of really good to do, basically. I know with the Robo that I'm going to have to change the voice chip in it, so it's English other than French. But I've already spoken to some people who in the part work community who do mods, and they said they would hit me up on that. So yes, I'm going to be doing that one. Hopefully then changing it. The Alien doesn't come with a voice changer, though it does light up, and it does have a motion sensor in it. That's another thing as well. We've still got a lot of internal stuff to build inside here, because it's going to have a motion sensor. So basically, when you click your fingers or you make a noise somewhere, the head turns to that noise. So that's cool. So yeah, it's going to be interesting where I'm going to put the Alien. I'm going to have a hunt around and have a little look to see exactly where I'm going to put it. But that's where I am really. I'm on the. I mean, what does everyone else think of it? It looks quite good, doesn't it? I mean, it's got a. I mean, it could play football, really. But yeah, somewhat. If you want to know what articulation's like, there really isn't any. There's none in the foot at all. Even though it's on a ball joint and it does turn, there's just no up and down movement. It's a really smooth movement on the knee joint, but I don't want to go overextending it. But yeah, you can move it. It does look really good. But I don't want it sort of up straight. It's going to have to be bent somehow. And then obviously here you've got the sort of hip joint thing, and it's once again there's just no real movement in that at all. But yeah, looks impressive. It does look very impressive, and that's why I love it. But getting it to look like this, yeah, that was another matter, which you'll all find out about anyway when I release the videos. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, even my brother, said that rib cage does look rather small. But no, we have checked it. It is the right size. Like I said, the Alien sort of has what my wife said, an hourglass figure. So it's got big hips and then comes in really small in the waist and chest, and then sort of spans out again. It's got these two big sort of frills, hasn't it, on its side near its head. And so yeah, its waist and ribs are actually very slender. Yeah, it goes like this, like that. That's the sort of design it does. So yeah. Yeah, Luna or Daisy ran off with it in her mouth up the road like that, and then people are like, "Oh my god, what's that?" Do you know what? When it's done, I'm going to see if I can position it outside or something, take some photos in the garden out the front here, because I think it's going to look really cool. I think photo-wise, it's going to look really good, actually. and you know the problem with the Terminator as well. I'm hoping that it can hold its own weight, unlike the Terminator, because the legs are a bit more chunky, and it sort of does sit really well. So I'm hoping. I know it comes with a stand, but I'm hoping that it can hold its weight without the stand. And if it can't, it doesn't matter. I'll still take it outside and have a little photo session with it in the sun. Get some proper natural light on it. Also, as well, I forgot to say, I've got a new laptop this week. So I'm going to play about with that and see if I can get OBS to work a little bit better than what I remember using it as before. And if I can get that to work, I'll probably use it more for my live streams and that. So, but look, anyway, we've been chattering an hour. Thank you so much for all coming along and chatting with me. And I hope you liked the alien reveal. Obviously, all those videos will be out over the next 7 or 8 weeks. So you've all got something to look forward to. But obviously, if you're a patron, you get them all straight away. Give them a good look, because it gives a real good look into what it's like, really. But look, I'm going to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. As always, I will be back next week to discuss the ups and downs of Partworks and everything in between. Thank you guys once again for supporting the channel. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll see you at the next video, and we'll see you then. Bye.